The South China tiger, also known as the Chinese and Examian tiger, is a tiger subspecies that was native to southern China in provinces like Fujian and Hunan and has been classified as critically endangered by the International Union of Conservation of Nature since 1996. It is one of the world's 10 most endangered animals and the most endangered of the 6 surviving tiger subspecies. This means that there are few, if any, in the wild, about 10 to 30, and around 100 in captivity at present. If there are any South China tigers in the wild, these few individuals would be found in montane subtropical evergreen forest of southeast China, close to the provincial borders. When the tiger migrates, it goes from one home range to the other, and then migrates depending on the habitat quality, prey availability, and tiger's sex. The male tiger's home range will have a good prey availability, will exclude other male tigers from their range, and will have multiple female tigers in his home range. They mark the range through scent with their urine and through clawing things in the area. Very few of these tigers there are, that is. The South China tiger is a carnivore, getting their energy by hunting wild pig, deer, and other animals, eating about 40 pounds of food at a time. This is part of the reason why they are such a small subspecies of tiger, for they have adapted to hunt smaller animals faster and more efficient. Though because of their ever so dwindling numbers in the wild, the natural habitats and behavior in relation to the South China tiger's environment is unclear. Before we go into the endangerment of the South China tiger, we must first go through the animal's physical structure. The South China tiger falls under the Klein morphology, which means that the Chinese tiger is one of the many species that gradually begins to look different over its geographic distribution as it adapts to varying climates and habitats. The male Chinese tiger measures from 230 to 265 centimeters in a straight line and weighs about 290 to 390 pounds. The females are smaller and measure 220 to 240 centimeters in a straight line and weigh about 240 to 250 pounds. The greatest length of the skull on males is 31.8 to 34.3 centimeters, while in females it is 27.3 to 30.1 centimeters. The South China tiger's coat is lighter and more yellowish than some of the other tigers. The stripes are also narrower, more numerous, and more sharp-edged. This tiger is the next smallest tiger after the Samaritan tiger. This means that everything from the Chinese tiger's molars to its length is smaller than almost all of the other tigers. So what makes the Chinese tiger different from the others? It is the ratio of its length and width of the skull are relatively larger to its slim body shape and slender waist. These characteristics make the South China tiger look more like the immediate ancestor of all other tigers. The South China tiger can mate any time throughout the year, but they typically do so during the winter or spring. The tigers reach maturity at about 4 years of age and have a gestation period of about 103 days. When the female tiger has successfully reproduced, the usual number of cubs is 2 or 3, although there have been as many as 6. The cubs are raised off of their mother's milk for the first few months. The cubs then leave the den for the first time when they are 2 months old. They are still wholly dependent until they are about 6 months old when they learn how to kill. They can hunt for themselves by the time they are about 18 months old and are fully independent at about 2 years of age. Surprisingly, the South China tiger has not been seen in the wild for nearly 25 years. One disturbing reason for this is in fact humans. For some time, the South China tiger was indeed hunted and killed as pests, as well for the fur trade, thusly bringing numbers down substantially. Although hunting was officially banned in 1979 by China, the tigers are still being tormented by means of habitat destruction. Today, suitable land fragments are usually smaller than 500 square kilometers. So what can be done to help the now 1 to 200 left Chinese tigers? Well, as humans, one thing we can do is start to reserve more spaces for the animals. We can also try carrying on with a plan to move them to Africa just as well. Drones are even being used as surveillance of the conservation sites. Even ideas such as cloning the animals are being considered. The Chinese tiger is believed to have originated in China 2 million years ago and is commonly believed to be the ancestral root tiger from which all other subspecies of tiger, like the Bengal and Siberian tiger, are derived. When one adds the South China tiger's natural geographical location with its physical attributes, one can see why the tiger is considered an ancestral root of all other subspecies.
The South China tiger is the most endangered tiger in the world, but it's also the most ancient tiger in the world, from which all tigers on this planet are derived.
In the era of Imperial China, a tiger was deemed to be the personification of war and warfare, and was often used as a symbol to represent the highest army general, a tradition that continues to this day, as it is also used to represent the defense secretary in the Chinese government. The tiger is also used in many other aspects of Chinese culture, due to them being a representation of royalty, fearlessness, and wrath.